Is Dubai's glittering skyline built on exploitation? Unveil the hidden truths behind the luxury facade, migrant worker exploitation, environmental devastation, and an authoritarian underbelly. Section 1. The Dubai Dream versus Reality. Once upon a time, in the glittering desert oasis of Dubai, there was a tale of two faces, the one carefully painted by influencers and the not-so-Instagrammable reality. Imagine this. You've seen those dazzling photos of skyscrapers touching the clouds, luxury cars lining the streets, and influencers sipping gold-infused coffee, making you wonder if Dubai is the real-life version of a fairy tale kingdom. But hold your camels. Behind the shimmering facade, there's a whole different story playing out, starring migrant workers as the unsung heroes. These are the folks building those towering skyscrapers, but their lives are no Cinderella story. They're more like construction Cinderellas, working long hours under the scorching sun, facing harsh conditions instead of dreaming about glass slippers. Dubai, the playground for the rich, is not all fun and games. It's a tax haven for those who want to bathe in gold, metaphorically speaking. The wealthy, the influencers, they flock to Dubai like seagulls to a beachside picnic. With promises of luxury living, they set up shop in their high-rise castles. But guess who builds those castles? It's not a magical fairy godmother, it's the migrant workers. Now, imagine being promised a golden ticket to the land of dreams. You pack your bags, thinking you're about to enter a magical world of opportunity. But surprise! It's more like a ride on a magic carpet of debt, and your dreams start feeling like an illusion. These migrant workers, enticed by false promises, find themselves trapped in a desert mirage of debt and inhumane living conditions. The reality is far from the glitzy Instagram posts. And then there's the party scene, the secret lair where the glitterati play. But beware, models entering this realm might find themselves in situations more twisted than a pretzel. The ruling elites don't just throw parties, they weave a dark magic, coercing models into compromising situations. It's like a twisted fairy tale, only with more shakes and fewer glass slippers. Section 2. The Migrant Worker Exploitation. It's not all gold-plated Lamborghinis and indoor ski slopes. There's a gritty side that rarely sees the limelight. Picture this. The glittering cityscape, the glitzy lifestyle portrayed by influencers. But hold on, what about the folks who make it all happen? Well, enter the unsung heroes, the migrant workers. They aren't exactly on the cover of Dubai's glossy brochures. Now let's get real. Dubai's prosperity, those shimmering skyscrapers, built by a workforce that's 90% immigrant. These folks aren't exactly living the high life. We're talking about stories, not the fairy tale kind, but the harsh reality of migrant workers lured by promises that turn out to be as hollow as a chocolate bunny on Easter. False promises, debts as clingy as that piece of gum on your shoe, and living conditions that make camping in a rainforest seem like a spa day. That's the deal for many. The glitzy party scene? Behind the scenes, models are navigating a maze of compromises, and it's not exactly their choice. Dubai's rulers might throw opulent parties, but it's not all about champagne and caviar. It's about coercion, manipulation, and a backstage pass to the dark underbelly of power dynamics. Imagine being promised a dazzling future, but instead, you're left with a debt collector on speed dial. That's the story of many migrants. And let's not forget the sinking feeling when you realize the Dubai dream isn't as solid as those skyscrapers suggest. Section 3. The economic motivation behind Dubai's rise. Now, back in the day, when dinosaurs roamed, not really, but close enough, Dubai was a tiny British protectorate just chilling in the Middle East. Fast forward a bit, and boom, oil happened. Black gold started gushing from the sands, turning the desert into a treasure chest. Everyone was living the high life, buying pet cheetahs like they were groceries. But, and it's a big but, relying solely on oil is like putting all your money on camel racing. Risky business. Dubai's smart folks knew they needed a plan B, so they decided to diversify faster than you can say Burj Khalifa. Enter the era of international finance, trade, and tourism. Dubai was like, hey world, we've got more than just oil. We've got indoor ski slopes in the desert and the world's tallest building. Beat that. The city became a playground for the rich, a tax haven for the elite, and a haven for influencers chasing the perfect Instagram sunset. Now, if Dubai were a superhero, its kryptonite would be the lack of sustainable plans. The economic roller coaster needed more than just oil to keep the party going. And boy, did they throw a party. Artificial islands like the Palm Jumeirah and the World Islands popped up faster than a jack-in-the-box, fueled by sand. Yes, sand. They sucked it out of the sea like a giant vacuum, leaving marine life scratching their fins, wondering where their homes went. But here's the punchline. These islands aren't just sinking in debt, they're sinking into the sea. It's like building sandcastles on a sinking ship, not the brightest idea. Dubai's grandiose projects have an environmental price tag higher than the Burj Al Arab. Section 4. The environmental impact. Picture this. Dubai, a city that decided to play real-life SimCity in the middle of a desert. They dreamed big, creating artificial islands like the Palm Jumeirah and the World Islands, thinking, who needs natural coastlines when you can build your own? Now don't get me wrong, the idea of man-made islands is kind of cool, like something out of a sci-fi movie. But here's the twist. The process of making these islands involves more than just waving a magic wand. Dubai had a love affair with sand, not the beach kind, but the let's dig up the desert kind. They scooped up massive amounts of sand to shape their fantasy islands, and it turns out sand is kind of important for a desert's ecosystem. Who would have thought? The Palm Jumeirah, shaped like a palm tree because, well, why not, seemed like a genius idea. But as it turns out, the environmental cost was no walk in the park. The extraction of sand wreaked havoc on the local ecology, disrupting the natural balance and leaving the desert with a bad case of the environmental hiccups. Now, let's talk about the World Islands, a collection of islands that are, you guessed it, shaped like the world map. Apparently, Mother Nature wasn't thrilled about these islands messing with her global masterpiece. The environmental impact hit hard, causing problems like coastal erosion and messing with marine life. But here's the kicker. These artificial wonders are sinking, literally. It's like Dubai built the modern-day Atlantis, but without the sea god's approval. The islands are slipping beneath the waves, turning Dubai's ambitious dreams into a watery nightmare. So, to recap, Dubai decided to reshape its coastline, and in doing so, played a game of ecological Jenga. They pulled out the sand, and surprise, surprise, things started to crumble. The sinking islands are a reminder that even in the land of opulence, Mother Nature still holds the ultimate trump card. Section 5. The Authoritarian System. Dubai's laws are like a well-organized circus, where the trapeze artists are doing their death-defying stunts, and the audience, that's us, claps nervously. The rulers have crafted a set of rules to make sure the rich stay rich and the powerful stay powerful, like a real-life version of Monopoly, where they never pass go, but collect a lot of oil money. Now, let's talk about punishments. Dubai doesn't mess around. You'd think missing a payment on your credit card would get you a stern letter, right? Well, in Dubai, they might just build a new skyscraper on top of your house. Okay, maybe not, but they take their rules seriously and don't even think about speaking ill of the rulers. They've got a zero-tolerance policy for that. It's like they handed out shush cards at the airport. They're all about maintaining an image of order and prosperity, which makes for great postcards, but not so great if you want to, express an opinion. Now, you might wonder why Dubai feels so safe. It's not just because of the fancy cars and security cameras shaped like falcons. It's the fear, my friend. The fear. The authorities run a tight ship, and that ship is called "Don't Mess With Us." It creates this illusion of a utopian society where everyone behaves because they're too scared not to. But here's the kicker. While the rich and powerful bask in the glow of their skyscrapers, the same protection doesn't extend to everyone. Migrant workers, the unsung heroes of Dubai's construction boom, don't get the VIP treatment. It's like having a velvet rope for the elite and a turnstile for everyone else. So, in this desert kingdom, safety and protection depend on where you fall on the social ladder. The rulers are like the cool kids at the party, and everyone else is hoping they don't get kicked out before the night's over. It's a tale of two cities within one, where the sheen of safety for some contrasts sharply with the vulnerability of others. And that's it from this video. See you in the next one.